So now when it comes to the other series that has yet to be completed, the Thunder have a chance to close out the Nuggets tonight, that being Thursday night in Denver. And so, as we know from Toddy and I's picks, I'm not sure how the Dents feel about tonight's game, but Jaevon and I are both picking the Nuggets to win tonight's game 6. As we were talking about in the pre-show meeting, Jamal Murray is listed as questionable with an illness for the Nuggets tonight. I do think that he plays, but if he plays, what level is he playing at given that he's sick? I'm going to go with the Nuggets winning tonight, extending it to 7 games. But at that point, you could go with the experience, but I don't know. Because like Nikola Jokic in game 5, he had like 44 and 20, some ridiculous stat line. And the Nuggets still lost. And so I don't know how much Nikola Jokic can do by himself. The Nuggets are going to need bubble Jamal Murray, 2023 Jamal Murray. Like they're going to need him to reemerge. Aaron Gordon has been doing his part throughout. Aaron Gordon has been more of a Robin to Jokic's Batman than Jamal Murray has collectively throughout these playoffs. And so because of that, I'm not going to side with experience here, which I usually would. I'm going to go with the overall makeup of a team. And I'm going to say that the Thunder close out this series, but they do it in 7 on their home floor. Jaevon, just to stick with the order here and give everyone a breather, I'm throwing it to you next. What are your thoughts on this other series that still needs to be completed in the NBA playoff conference semifinals?
Yeah, no, last game, the Nuggets were up pretty much the entire game until the fourth quarter happened and kind of seemed like they got gassed and just weren't able to make shots. And the Thunder, like we've seen in previous time, can go on these crazy runs and just end up just turning a game upside down. And we saw that in game 2 with like the 30 plus point game victory that they had at home. So Denver's definitely backs are against the wall. Need a little bit more from the other guys. Like Jokic is, I don't know what he's at, what his numbers are this entire series, but it's pretty insane. Night in and night out, you see this guy, and OKC's double and tripling this guy and saying somebody else beat us because it's not going to be him. And I think SGA stepped up to the plate a bit after I felt like in the first game kind of got shaken up a little bit. But I do think that he's been playing well in this series, and this young OKC team has a chance to go to the Western Conference Finals tonight. Now, I am on the fence of taking the Nuggets tonight because I just think Jokic is going to find a way to get this to 7 games and kind of just see where it takes them there. But tonight's going to be very interesting. Can this young team, young OKC, can you say that they're inexperienced a little bit because this is their second year in the playoffs? But can they close this thing out tonight and just nip it in the bud, get it to 6 games because we don't need it to go to 7 games, and then start getting ready for the Minnesota Timberwolves? I'm going to say no. I do think the Nuggets come out victorious tonight. Jokic is probably going to have a triple-double, 30-point triple-double, and Shea is probably going to have close to 30 points in this game. So Denver is going to be a zoo in Denver tonight because this is technically their last home game. It would be of season potentially. So it's going to be a chess match. We'll see from Dagnall and from and Coach Adelman. So I think we'll see a lot of the veterans like Russell Westbrook might be out there making going balls to the wall like he always does, and Aaron Gordon's going to be. You'll just see like a little bit of extra because they've already been there before and won a championship, as we all know. A couple of years ago that was. So they're going to go all out because they're not trying to go home and get sent home in the second round of the playoffs. So I do have Denver winning tonight.
Kevin, what's your take on this series between the Thunder and the Nuggets? Because While Toddy and Alex may have some more hope for their Celtics, being without Jason Tatum, it's going to be tough for them to close out this Knicks team. But this series between OKC and Denver is really up in the air. It's the last one, considering that the other two are already done. And so, Kevin, what's your take on this series, and who do you got tonight in Game 6 between the Nuggets and the Thunder? You just remuted yourself, FYI.
AFC, KFC, NFC. OKC is going to win this game tonight. It comes down to the other guys. I've been mentioning this. We know the Joker's got to come to play. We know SGA is going to come to play. For the last two games, this MVP matchup has not lived up to the hype. But Game 5, we definitely saw them both come to play. We saw guys like Jalen Williams, Chet come to play. And then we've seen guys like Aaron Gordon and Russell Westbrook and Jamal Murray come to play. So we understand at this point, Game 6, the season's on the line. What are the other guys going to do? We know, like how you said, we're expecting a 30-point triple-double. We're expecting Shea to score upwards of 30 points. What are the other guys going to do? Is Chet going to come and play like Chet does? Is Isaiah Hartenstein going to play? Is Lou Dort going to hit his shots? And then you can ask the same question with Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter, Christian Brown, excuse me. So it really just comes down to the other guys. But I'm willing to bet that the Thunder understand that there's blood in the water. And like I mentioned, Game 7s, anything's up in the air. This team has won a championship before. So allowing them to go back to your home and get an extra 2 days of rest between now and Game 7 if they were to win, with all that being on the table, and knowing that the Timberwolves are just at home watching, waiting. You don't want to just keep playing while they're at home waiting, because then when the next series starts, you're behind and they've been resting for a couple of days. So they have to go all out to the wall tonight, and that's the main reason why I'll take the Thunder. I know they're young. And I know the Nuggets have this championship experience, but it comes down to coaching in Game 6s and Game 7s, and I'm not willing to trust this new coach 10 games into his coaching career. So I'm going to put my money on the Oklahoma City Thunder.
That's a fair point, Kevin. The only counterpoint that I will deliver here is, and this will be a perfect transition to the next series that we're going to talk about. You look at that series between the Warriors and the Timberwolves. Steph hurts his hamstring in the second quarter of Game 1, and the Warriors still went on to win Game 1 in Minnesota, much to Wes's dismay. But the point that I'm making about this is the fact that, at least I thought, many of other people thought, that the Timberwolves would be rested going into that series because they closed out the Lakers in 5 games, versus the Warriors had to go 7 and play on the road in Houston. And the Warriors got 1 day off, and then they went right into that next series. And so I thought the Timberwolves would absolutely beat the brakes off of the Warriors in Game 1, given the rest, given the fact that they're at home. And then you add in the unexpected of Steph suffering his first muscle tendon injury of his career with that strain. And so I thought for sure, Jaevon, that the Timberwolves would win Game 1 against the Warriors, and they didn't. But then they go on to win the next 4. And so let's